Hello, I'm Brody Kolsky, and this is AV2 News. Welcome back to AV2 News, a newscast produced by the Audiovisual Production 2 class of Roane County High School. This newscast is designed to bring you stories of interest from our school and our community in a broadcast journalism format. So, let's get started. During the previous summer break, the well-needed air conditioning system began installation in the gym. The final 2 weeks of summer were the beginning of installing the system and is currently being tweaked to reach completion. Reporter Caleb Matheson and producer Scott Murray have more on the process.
The gymnasium at Roane County High School has never been air conditioned. That is, until recently. Now athletes and attendees at basketball games, volleyball games, and other events are much more comfortable in the warm months due to a new air conditioning system that was installed this year.
So the project began last spring. It was a lengthy project to get done, and final installation wrapped up right before school started.
There were some heating units, but it wasn't the central heat. So there was no air conditioning before that.
Particularly during volleyball season, those girls play during the summer and then into August and September in the gym. And so it was extremely hot in there during those times. During summer basketball, so I know it was heavy on that, and then obviously during our classes as well. We have PE classes in there all day long.
Well, it's not too bad this time of year. It was kind of rough during volleyball season for them in practice, but it's cooler outside now, so it's not too bad. I mean, it's gotten hot on us a couple of days, but for special events, we can let the maintenance know, and they'll leave them turned on in the evenings. And we're definitely going to need that because we're going to have some big crowds for basketball season.
So we had never had air conditioning in the gym. Prior to this, we had heat. Obviously, we had heat units in there, but there was no AC from the time the building was built back, 50, 60 years ago or more. Until this past summer, we have never had air conditioning until the fall of 2024. And when you're in that gym in August and September, it's really, really hot. So I believe that the air conditioning has made a positive impact on those classes and those athletic teams since we've had that put in.
The heated debate over whether to put air conditioning in the gym is now over. We can breathe a sigh of relief and stay cool at the same time.
Even though it is mostly overlooked by students, there is a small brick building on the far right side of the Roane County High School campus. From kindergarten school to storage building, this tiny home has a huge history. Reporter Lillian Francis and producer Thomas Sloan bring us that story.
On the edge of Roane County High School stands a small brick building that holds a lot of memories. Today, this is used as the office for our custodial services, but it holds a lot of memories and a rich history.
The first time I remember coming to the little red building that we called it was when it was the public library when I was a kid. It was the public library of the city. And I believe that building stayed the library until the early 1970s. And the library was moved. I'm not sure if it was moved to the community center or to the courthouse, but I think that's when the school system took over the building and started using it, I think, as a kindergarten or maybe even a daycare at that point.
I first remember the library being in the little red brick building when I was upper elementary school age, actually going to it. And I think it was here by the time I was in first grade. And that's where I fell in love with reading. And I would get a book, check it out, and learn that whole process and the responsibility of taking care of the book. The best memories that I have, or fondest memories there, was when the librarian would take the time to show me and actually explain the Dewey Decimal System some to me. I didn't really grasp it that well at that age, but it was an interesting concept, and knowing that that person taking that time for me, a nobody, to help me pick out the type of books, and sometimes when I would come in there, she'd say, "Oh, I've got a new book that I think you would like."
And it sort of looks run down just a little bit. However, today it is used, I believe, as the offices of the custodial company that does the custodial work for the schools.
While not much is available about this little brick building, we do know this: it holds many memories for the people of Roane County.
Parallel with phone usage, the use of artificial intelligence is a concerning issue within the classroom. Can AI be used productively in the classroom, or is it a deterrent to a student's ability to think for themselves? Reporter Wesley Sims and producer Cade Clem dive deeper into this polarizing topic.
Artificial intelligence is transforming the way we live, work, and learn. But as this powerful technology is making its way into classrooms, educators are grappling with a tough question. Is AI a friend or foe?
So we actually talk about AI a lot in my class. I do feel like AI is a really good way to enhance learning, but I also feel like it can be negative if students are more focused on it doing the work for you.
I think that kids are more likely to use it inappropriately because they're not taught to use it as a tool or a strategy, and they just use it as a means to complete an assignment rather than use it to assist them.
We do not want to use AI as a crutch. We want to use AI as a way to develop stronger skills and as a way to help students become familiar with what they could see in the workforce.
It's one of those things where there has to be a balance. If you're going to use AI, it needs to be in support, not in place of work. If you were to use AI to write something, I can give it the same command and it's going to come up with essentially the same answer. So if I have 25 kids that all say, I'm going to use AI for this, I'm going to get 25 papers that are almost identical.
I think school is a great way to teach teenagers and students that this is just part one of life, of having to put the work into life, and that's not going to change. It just might be different kinds of work.
Teachers actually can use programs that they use in their classrooms, so Google Classroom, and there are some programs that the English teachers have that can actually monitor for inappropriate AI use.
As AI becomes a staple in classrooms, the key may lie in finding a balance, using technology to enhance learning while ensuring students maintain critical thinking. As a matter of fact, most of this script was written by AI.
We all know you all know how to use it to get this stuff done, but let's use it in a way where it's going to be actually useful to you and it's going to be useful in the classroom.
There's going to be a need for AI in several different fields, so we need to have experience with it in the appropriate way.
In a generous act of the Christmas spirit, the Beta Club comes together during the holidays to bring joy to the kids of Kingston Elementary and Cherokee Middle Schools. Reporter Lauren Walker, alongside producers Jalen Phillips and Brooklyn Van Arsdale, bring us that story.
During the most wonderful time of the year, the Roane County High School Beta Club members bring the joy of holiday season to young students at Kingston Elementary School and Cherokee Middle School. For years, Beta Club members have been gathering clothes, toys, and other presents to brighten the Christmas spirits of these young students and their families.
The CMS and KES Christmas is a project that we do every year with our Beta Club and FCCLA, where some students are selected from their schools that need a little bit of help with Christmas, and we provide lots of clothes and toys and things for them.
And all the club members get in groups of like 3 or 4, and then they pick a kid who they want to buy for.
And they'll go shopping. They'll make sure they have toys, but they also make sure they have something warm, coats, shoes, tops, bottoms, something to make sure they have for clothing, as well as something for a toy at least.
And we go home and wrap everything, write their names on it, and then we have to like bring it back here. We get them all together, and then half of us go to the middle school, half of us go to KS, and then we give like half the presents to them then, and then their parents have to come at the end of the day and pick the rest of them up, and they actually give them to them on Christmas morning.
Not only does this impact the families in a positive way, but it also affects the Roane County High School student who took part in this project.
The impact that KS Christmas has on me is overall just a happy feeling, knowing I can provide a Christmas that these kids aren't going to get at home.
It makes me feel accomplished by seeing the faces of the kids whenever they receive their presents, and also by providing them a Christmas that they wouldn't have gotten otherwise. It's just very special to them.
Well, that's it for this edition of AV2 News. I'm Brody Kolsky. Thanks for watching.